Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Vickie with VJ Designs. I am continuing with my Kendra's Card Challenge sketches. I am not on her design team or anything, but officially showing her cards on a hop or anything like that, but I just love her sketches and I'm just sharing how I'm doing them. So in my last video I did the first 4, so this one I'm going to see how far I can get. I have up to 10 prepared. So here's number 5. I will show you the sketch. It's pretty cute. Let's see, back. This is number 5. It's pretty simple. Seriously, when I'm done with this video, I have to do some serious cleaning in this small craft room of mine because it is starting to close in on me and make me feel claustrophobic. I've had so many projects going on this month, like so many of you have, and I know you understand. So I cleared off this little space right here. So here we go. All right, this is a portrait card. So let's get the on most of these cards I've made the matte, this light gray. Some of them I changed up a little bit, and mostly because the sketches kind of call for it, and you'll see what I mean when I get there. But so this sketch, I need to get it down here where I can see it. Okay, where am I? 5. Okay. So we have, this goes up here, but it was supposed to have a mat, so I had to cut a little mat for it. And that will go up here in the corner. And then we had a piece from the B paper for this corner down here. Okay, and then in the middle, we had a 2.5-inch square with a mat behind it. So I'm using the plain side of this paper. Okay, so let's start gluing these down. And you guys, I've been using this glue without the pin in it for over 2 hours, sitting on my desk like this. So, yeah, it works, I'm telling you. All right, there's the first one. These two papers kind of have a direction on them, so I want these flowers to be right side up. Depending on what piece you're cutting out of it, looks like it's upside down if you don't have them on there right. So you do want to be mindful of that if you care about that kind of thing. I'm not too particular, but I don't like things being upside down if they're not supposed to be. So, okay, there's that. And then we have this square piece in the middle. So we'll get this glued on. The problem with the double-sided paper like this, it's hard to cover up, the other side a lot of times, but, we have it, we need to use it, right? So I'm just going to glue that down instead of pop it up. Trying to get this as straight as possible. Now I got little nubbies over here on the side. Does your cutter ever start making your paper have rough edges? I have these little pieces of sandpaper. I'm not sure where these come from, but I think it's like you can get these at nail salons and that. And I might have gotten some of these from the gal who I get pedicures from. But anyway, they're perfect for sanding off the side. Or if you have the Tim Holtz sanders, those work really well too. So I had this ephemera that I got from Sally at Relatively Thoughtful. I won a prize from her on Craft Roulette. And she is in England, or she's in the UK. And so, and she paid all the postage. She reimbursed me for all the postage that I would have had to pay. And I did share all the stuff that I got from her in an earlier video, so I won't share that again, but it was awesome. She sent me a bunch of extra things and very generous. And so I found this. I thought it was perfect. The colors. There really isn't any yellow in this paper, but you know, it's okay. It goes anyway. And there's a little green and pink, of course. So I think that is adorable. And on this one, I think what I'll do is put some half pearls on here. Got these half pearls, and let's see, I might use the pink ones. I always do an odd number when I do embellishments like this. It's kind of a rule of thirds, you call it, or whatever, a rule of odd numbers. Or, I mean, there's really, they say there's no rules in crafting, but there are some things that you do that are more pleasing to the eye. And that's one of them. If you embellish with something and make it an odd number, for some reason it's more pleasing to the eye. And for those of you who like things to be even, you probably cringe at that, but I mean, it's really true. But you do you, right? Everybody has their own way of doing things, and if you want to put an even number on there, you go right ahead, because it's your project, it's your creation. You create how you want to, and there's no crafting police is going to come around and say anything about it. And if they do, well, they just don't know anything. That's what I have to say about that. Oops. And you just need a little dab of this glue. I like this jewel picker. It's the Marvy jewel picker. And I got a couple others too when I was at Paper Ganza. I haven't used them much, but I got one from, can't remember. I know I got one from Riley and Company when she did a class. And the other one, I can't remember who it was from. But, so, there's that card. I think that just kind of set it off really nicely. So that is card number 5. And there's the sketch. So like I said, this is a, well, it's a sketch, but it's, you know, you can switch it up however you want. as long as they can tell that this is the sketch that you're using. But you can do your own thing. If you wanted to put a circle here, you could do that. You know, if you wanted to add more things underneath here, you can do that. There's a ton of things you can do to make it yours, just so they can tell that it's this sketch you're doing. If you're entering it, like when you get done with all the cards, you take a picture of all of them and you put them on Kendra's Facebook page. She has a special place to put pictures of your cards, and then she will enter them in a drawing. And you can also enter each separate card. There's another place that you put each separate card, and she does a thing for that. And then there's a place that you go to enter your cards, and you're entered for prizes from other people. So there's tons of ways you can enter and get prizes just for doing these cards, which is so much fun. Okay, so there's card number 5. I need to quit talking and get going. Okay, so here's number 6. Here's the sketch for number 6. Very, very simple. So this one also is a landscape. And let's go ahead and get the mat on. There's a lot of sickness going around on my worship team. Our worship leader is sick. A couple of the other people have been kind of sickly, and our bass player couldn't make it on Christmas Eve service. And my brother that lives with me, he's our drummer, and now he's sick. So I don't know if he's going to feel up to going tomorrow either. So we might be without a drummer also. So these go on here like this. And then I made this. They just have a couple circles showing there, but I cut out like I did before. I think this is a 2.5 inch circle and a 2 inch punch. So I did this one the opposite. Instead of having this on the outside and the circle on the inside, I had the plain circle with the punch is scalloped too. So we'll just get these on here. Like I said, you can, just use your imagination on these cards and make them your own. And these are a guide, but like I said, just so she can tell that this is the actual sketch you were going for. You don't want to change it up so much that she can't tell. I think I got that a little low. It's kind of hard to see once I'm right over it. Okay, there's that. Okay, and I think I will put this one up on dimensionals. There are dimensionals that are even thinner than these. These are pretty thin. These I get from the dollar store, $1.25 store. And these are found in the automotive section. I've talked about them before, but and I really, really like them. But Chelsea, and I know other people have these too, but Chelsea at Inky Stamper carries some that are even thinner than that. And those are really cool to use sometimes too, because you can, I'm pretty sure, using this, because I've done it, using this dimensional, it'll go through the mail. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but, and you probably do, but on your cutters like this, I don't want to spill these. This slot in here is 1/4 inch wide, and that's what they go by at the post office. So if it will go through the 1/4 inch slot on here, pretty much assured it's going to go through your 1/4 inch at the post office. And so if I don't make it any bigger than that, I just put a regular stamp on it. If I put like these flat back pearls on also, then it gets to be a little bumpy, and I don't want it to go through, you know, so then it's a non-machinable, which you have to use a certain, it's a little more money. And they do have a stamp that's a butterfly that is the exact amount if it's for non-machinable, but it's still an ounce. And it will go through, it would normally go through the 1/4 inch slot, but you don't want it to go through the machine. You use that stamp, and I can't remember how much. I think it's like 35 cents more than a regular stamp. So they just have the ones, you know, if you put that stamp that's specifically for that, then they know don't put it through the machine. And if you go in to them, they can also stamp their non-machinable. Well, I usually just write it on the front. Because a lot of times I just stick mine in the mail slot, you know, to mail off. So, okay, there is number 6. I thought that turned out pretty cute. And you could put bling on here too. And like I said, later, before I send them out, I may go ahead and do that. Put some bling on here or something. Okay, there's card number 6. I am bound and determined to spill these all over, and that will be a disaster. Okay, here is sketch number 7. This one was a little more involved, but trying to clean this stuff up off here. All right, number 7. Okay, for this one, see, she's showing, well, this is paper F. So in your pages that you cut out in the beginning, your papers, 6x6 papers, you're cutting out a size that big. You know what? And I don't think I used that. I didn't. I cut out my own piece of pink. I didn't even notice that that was the actual paper. So we will use the paper that I cut out for it. I guess it doesn't matter. You know, I could use this. But the rest of it is pretty plain. So I'll just go ahead and put this down. That's pretty too, isn't it? But I'm going to use this. Yeah, when I printed these off, sometimes these letters on this paper. Well, that one wasn't blurry. Some of the measurements and stuff are blurry, but that definitely says paper F. I just didn't see it. Okay, so then we have, it's a 3-inch square with 3 1/4 inch mat behind. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on here. This is not exactly the same gray that I've been using. I don't know where I got this gray, but I love it. It's a little bit thinner and it's kind of speckled. And it's really pretty. It kind of has a little bit of a sheen to it. And I had just a few pieces of it left, and I have no idea where I got it. And I really love it. I'll be sad when I'm out of it, because I really don't know where I got it from. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this down. So I need you guys to pray for me that I don't get sick, because living with my brother, and he's trying to stay down on his end of the house, and I'm staying on my, and I'm taking, you know, I'm washing everything down that he touches, and I don't know. I don't get sick that easy, and I've been pretty healthy, and I just want to stay that way. So I would appreciate your prayers. Sorry, I had to have a cup of coffee. This is a mug I got for Christmas for one of my sons and his wife. And they also sent me 4 bottles of sugar-free coffee syrups. So they know I'm really into the coffee. And he's been telling me over a year he wanted to send me one. This is a Stanley. And so I'm testing it out. I put in a hot cup of coffee in here way over an hour ago, and it's still hot, which is amazing. It's cool. I mean, no, it's not cool. It's hot. Anyway. Okay, so what we do now is put this over the middle. It's a little banner. This is something extra they wanted you to cut. Whoops. So they give you every piece of paper that you need to cut for each one of these cards, the dimensions and everything. It's very cool. Now the other side of this is a very, very light pink, and I don't like it as well, so I'm just going to keep it on this side. I'm going to use my tweezers again. And I'm going to put this in the middle. It'll be easier for me to know where to place these other ones. And it's saying to put it like right here, even with this piece. So that's what we'll do. Like I said before, there's a little prep work on these, but once you get going on them, they're just so easy. Now, that was the extent of her sketch, okay? But I don't like all this blanks. I don't like a lot of blank space on a card, and she knows that everybody's probably gonna put, you know, their own sentiments and stuff like that, which this gives you a lot of room. So I thought I would put this here, and then I cut out a couple little hearts that I thought I could add up here, maybe. Then I could put a couple bling. These would be cuter if they were darker. think I might have a piece of this 6x6 paper that I used with the darker color, that purple color. If I can find, hopefully I have a piece of it that I may have used it all. Yeah, I did. I could cut them out of here. We'll see what those look like. I got this little container here that holds my 6x6, as many as I could get in here, really well, and I just keep them up here next to me on my shelf, so they're handy. So let's cut a couple hearts. Out of this paper, because I just think these will pop a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like things to pop better. Okay, so I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I ran into one of my old bosses yesterday, years ago, when my husband and I lived here. I got a job working for 2 attorneys in our little town, and I had never done any working for attorneys before. I'd never done that, so it was interesting. And they were both different as night and day. One was like a school teacher. I mean, everything had to be every I dotted and every T crossed exactly like he wanted it. And the older one, because they dictated, you know, on this little machine, and I had to transcribe it. And he would just say, well, just make me sound good and make sure all the grammar and everything, make it sound better if I didn't say it right or whatever. He gave me license to do that, but he would always read everything before it was sent out just to make sure. And okay, so let's get these on up here. So anyway, long story short, he started getting macular degeneration years ago, and he was forced to retire, and it really, he didn't want to. He loved what he did, and he was the attorney for so many people in the rural area here. I'm going to put this one up on dimensionals. But I honestly thought he would be blind by now. But he still sees, I go by his place every now and then when I'm on my way to the town where our church is to go to work. And that's so cute. And, okay, so there, that is card number 7. And then when I'm done, what I do is go and put my stamp on the back. Okay, so there's that one. So anyway, yesterday I ran into him at the clinic where I go in to have my PT. And he couldn't see me. His daughter goes everywhere with him. She drives him around everywhere he wants to go. And I walked up to him and she says, he can't see you, but he can hear you. So I said, you know, I called him by name and I said, this is Vickie Jensen. I used to work for you, remember? And he had this big old smile and he got up and gave me a hug. And yeah, it was very cool. And I haven't talked to him in a long, long time. And he lost his wife several years ago. And, okay, so this piece here has a mat, and then this was cut out of paper E, this big piece here, but it's supposed to have a mat behind it, so I put the darker mat behind. I think I'll mount this on here first. So anyway, it was really good to see him, and we reminisced a little bit, and I played a really... I do have an impish side sometimes, which surprises some people, but I like to play a good, you know, April Fool's joke every now and then. And I still can't believe I did this, because I had only been working there for like 6 months. And they went out for lunch. One day they both went out at the same time for lunch. And while they were gone, I wrote a letter of resignation. And I put it on both of their desks. But at the very bottom, in tiny print, I wrote April Fool's. And I put one of those little tiny Post-its over it. And so anyway, I put them on their desks. And when they came in from lunch, the one guy went into his office first, and I never heard a word. So I knocked on the door, and I went in, and he's standing there white as a sheet. This was the other attorney. Standing there, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Really? You're quitting?" I said, "Doug, did you look underneath the sticky note?" And he lifted up and he goes, "Oh man." He couldn't believe that I got him. And I thought, man, for an attorney who is so particular about detail, for him not to even look under there just really shocked me. So anyway, we got a good laugh out of that. So then when Dick came in and went in his office, I waited a couple minutes, never heard a word. So I knocked on his door, and I went in. And he's sitting there, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Well, I guess you got to do what you got to do." And I said, "Did you look under the sticky note?" And he looked under there, and he goes, "Oh, man, you got me." And he laughed, and he said, "I won't forget this." He never did retaliate, though. It was so funny, though. I really got him good. And afterwards, I thought, oh, man, I'm glad they have a sense of humor. So I think that's probably about the best April Fool joke I've done on anybody. I'll never forget that. I don't think they will either. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I don't even know how I got there. I guess I'm just trying to make conversation. So most of you probably don't know, because I never have really shared this before, but I lost my husband 4 years after we moved here to Montana in a ranching accident. And I'm going to put this on dimensionals. So I ended up moving back to Portland area, which is where we were from. And like I said before, my daughter and her family lived there, and I had another son that lived there, and his family over in Vancouver. And I bought a house in Vancouver. It's just across the river from Portland, but it just has a much smaller town feel to it. And the only bad part about it is that the traffic from Portland to Vancouver and vice versa is always really bad, especially during rush hour. And there's a bridge. There's only 2 bridges that go across the river, because the river, Columbia River, separates Washington and Oregon. If anything happens on the bridge, I mean, it's backed up for miles, and you're going to be late to wherever you're going. Okay, there is, let's see, that's 5, 6, 7. It's card number 8, I think. Yep. Pretty cute. Okay, we'll just keep going. We'll just do all 10 of them that I have ready here. This one's really easy. It's practically all done already. So this one, you just had to cut this page out of one of the papers, this paper. And now I could have gone this way, but I kind of liked using the green side better because I found this big flower sticker that I wanted to use on here, and I thought it looked better on the green. So we just turn it around and do it this way. And then I stamped that on there, holding this on here so I could get it straight. So we'll go ahead and glue this down. So anyway, I lived in Vancouver for 8 years. My mom was getting elderly, so I was able to spend the last years with her. She passed away in 2012. And in the meantime, I mean, I took a couple years off from working after my husband died, and which was probably not the best thing to do because then 2009 happened. Of course, I could have lost my job anyway during that time. But after that, I couldn't even buy a job. I mean, I never had trouble finding a job. I mean, did any of you have that problem too during that time? I mean, I couldn't believe it. And I even had to go through an agency one time to get like a part-time job somewhere. You know, one of those, I forget what they call them, temporary job placement. I didn't like the job very well, but you know, and then I got to the place where I just couldn't afford to stay there anymore, and I had this ranch up here that was paid, my house was paid for. I just didn't think I'd ever be coming back here again. Never counted on it, but here I am, and it's where God wanted me to be. And so yeah, I'm glad I'm here now and don't live in Portland anymore. Oof. So I love it here. It's beautiful. And so there's card number 9. Very simple. And I will put some bling. Oh, I know what I was going to do on this one was use some of these sparkle spots. These are called sparkle spots. And I don't want blue. I'm trying to get the green. Come on. It won't stick to here that well. Okay. So they have different sizes. We got these at Paper Ganza also. And they don't have a light pink in here. I'm not sure what that color pink would look like. I think that's too purplish looking. So let's stick with the green. If I can get it out of here. We'll just put 3 of them on there for now. And with these, there is kind of a flat side to them where it's, and the other side is more sparkly. So that's the flat, shiny. I don't know if you can catch that. And this is the sparkly side. So that's the side you want to put. See, I picked up the wrong side. Did it again. There we go. I mean, I suppose if you go ahead and put it down, you wouldn't be able to really tell that much, but There is a difference. This one's big enough. I think maybe I can just hold on to it. Turn it over. Maybe. There. I really want to put one here too, so I'll have to put another one. Put one here. One down here. Keep wanting to pick up the wrong color. Oop. And they'll go flinging everywhere if you're not careful. Okay, we did it. You guys are probably, get those on there or not? Okay, there's number 9. So cute. Very simple. And last one, number 10. This is sketch number 10. Okay, so it's got a mat. And so for this one, I did cut a mat out that was pink instead of gray, because I think these squares look a little bit better on the pink. Let me get up here so you can see. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, my husband's been gone. This January 14th will be 20 years. I can't believe it's been that long. Oh shoot, I didn't want to glue those sides down yet. Okay, I'm going to take that off really quick. Okay, so what I want to do is put these on first, because we're going to cut off the edges. So this is E, so kind of, I mean, you don't have to have it just like she does. I'm going to put down the edge a little bit. I'm going to oops. That's how I get glue on my... I cleaned this all off because I was noticing it really looked dirty, so I had to use some alcohol on it to get it cleaned off. So B paper is this one, and I'm going to use the purple side. And so we'll just... This is going to be different, you know, than what she's got it, but that's okay. I don't want to do it exactly anyway. So you want to leave room to kind of slide them under there, get them where you want it. You kind of want them to go across like this, so they're going to be askew a little bit, okay? And then this color, this is D paper, so we'll put this one under here like that. Okay, and then we just start all over. We do E, And then B again. Okay, and then the last one. Like that. So I guess to finish my story about how I got back here, I just, after much prayer and talking to one of my sons about what I should do, he goes, well, Mom, you got a mortgage up there that's all paid for. You don't have to pay for a house payment, or you don't have to pay for water because you got your own water source, and it's kind of a no-brainer. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. So I asked my brother, who was living with me there too at the time, I said, do you want to move to Montana with me? And he goes, what are we still doing here? He hated Portland with a passion for a lot of different reasons. But anyway, so here we are. Been here for almost... well, whatever, from July of 2013 to here to now is. Okay, so I will get this glued down now. I guess almost 13 years. July 1st will be 13 years this next year. Okay, now, like I said before, I don't like big empty spots on my cards. So up here, I made this sentiment, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals. So also I want to let you guys know, hopefully you've watched with me this far, I am going to be doing my first live with Lala of Mommy Guide Inc. And if you don't know her, oh my gosh, she is a phenomenal lady. I just love her. And she has been a big proponent of many people, helping them get launched in YouTube, and very encouraging. And she is in the Philippines, and she usually does early morning, like 6 or so, sometimes a little later, but because she's 14 hours ahead of me and I'm mountain time, so like 7 o'clock in the morning for me is 11 o'clock at night for her. So I have agreed to do, she invited me to do my very first live with her. So I'm going to do that Monday morning. And I have no idea what I'm doing. She's gonna let me know what I need. I have this camera set up, and that's it. I have an iPad. I've never done live So I have no idea, because what I thought about doing was a premiere first, and that's where you can have a chat with everybody while you're watching a video, and it's a live chat. But she invited me to do that, and I'm just like, well, I can't pass that up. I have no idea what I'm doing. But she had me send her a bunch of info and stuff like that, and so she's gonna set me up and let me know what I need to do. So hopefully you guys will come join us. I know it's gonna be early in the morning, or you could watch replay, of course. But if you can at all possible, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it linked up to my YouTube also. So you can either watch on mine or jump onto Mommy Guide Inc. and subscribe to her, because she is amazing. So there's card number 10. So we only have 5 more to go. So in my next video, I will do the last 5, and then we will have all 15 done. So today we did this. We did all of these. So pretty. Thank you guys. It wasn't under an hour. I was trying to make them not, maybe around 30 minutes, but thank you for sticking around with me if you did. And yeah, you probably heard more about me than you wanted to know, but anyway, there it is. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you soon. Bye. Have a good day.